Last Friday, a couple of clients came in to the office to renew their policies. Nothing unusual. I've done it thousands of times with the renewals over the years. We sat down, we talked, we reviewed a few things, dated some information, just a normal appointment. And then right in the middle of that ordinary conversation, it hit me. This might be the last renewal that I ever do for them. Not because they're leaving, but because I am. Nobody warned me about the little lasts, not the big things, not my last day of work, the little things, the moments you don't realize are ending until you're standing right in the middle of them. Hi, I'm Glenda. I am about 6 weeks away from retirement, and I have been sharing this journey along with you in real time, not as an expert, but someone who is actually living and walking through it. If you're in this stage too, grab your coffee and sit with me for a minute. This is Second Act Studio, where your next chapter starts now. I think I assumed retirement would happen all at once. One day I'd be working, and the next day I'd be retired. A clean line, a clear ending. But that's not what's been happening. Instead, retirement seems to be arriving in little pieces, little moments, in a routine task, a familiar conversation, a meeting on the calendar, a client sitting across from me. And suddenly I realize that this might be the last time I ever do that. The funny thing is nobody really talks about those moments. Everyone talks about the last day, but the little lasts start showing up long before that. That renewal appointment stayed with me all through the weekend, not because there was anything unusual about it. In fact, that's exactly why it surprised me. It was just ordinary, just another client, just another policy, and just another day. Except it wasn't. As we talked, I found myself thinking about all the years, the people I've sat across from, the young couples buying their first homes, the families raising children, the clients who eventually became grandparents, the people who retired and are now starting their new chapters. I've watched a lot of life happen from this side of my desk. And suddenly I realized that this wasn't just another renewal. It was one of my last. And this was an emotional realization that I didn't expect. Not because I suddenly wanted to keep working forever. I don't, truly. But because these routines have been a part of my life for a very long time. And when something has been a part of your life for a long time, you notice when it starts to quietly fade into the background. What's interesting is that while these little endings are happening, other things are quietly beginning. I'm thinking more about art, more about creativity, more about writing, more projects that I have put off for years. This weekend, I started a front yard garden project that needed to be tackled for quite a while. More about things that I haven't had room for in my life for a long time. And maybe that's why these little lasts matter, because every one of them is making room for something new. Not all at once, but little by little. One possibility opening, one chapter closing, while a new chapter begins. Maybe that's what this season really is all about. Not one big goodbye, but a collection of small ones, the little lasts, the quiet endings, tiny moments that remind us that our life is changing. And maybe that's why they matter, because they help us appreciate where we have been while making room for where we're going. The client renewal reminded me of something. Retirement doesn't arrive all at once. It arrives one little last at a time. And now I'm curious, what are some of the little lasts that caught you by surprise? Leave a comment below. I read every one of them. And while we're talking about that, I want to thank those of you who keep coming back each week. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for sharing your experiences. And thank you for letting me be part of your journey while you're becoming part of mine. I read your comments, and honestly, they've become one of my favorite parts of this channel. I'm Glenda. This is Second Act Studio, where your next chapter starts now. And if you're new here and wondering whether you're in the right place, well, you are. Subscribe and let's walk this next chapter together. Thanks for being here. Have a wonderful day.